Let's bounce our balls together, we make a perfect team. Playing with them day or nights like living a dream.
Bouncing balls, yeah, let's bounce some balls. Bouncing balls on the ground against the wall.
What do you got to say to that? What do you got to say?
We're back.
We're back, baby. Episode 2, and we're starting off with some bouncing balls. For anyone who doesn't know, look it up, because it's a bop. The Wiggles partnered with the Harlem Globetrotters. And apparently the Wiggles had that song, Bouncing Balls, before. Fantastic, if you ask me. And they remixed
They have that in the vault.
They remixed it with the Harlem Globetrotters. Dude, I, honest to God, you can ask my wife. I showed it to her this morning. I was like, I gotta show you this. I put it on the TV. Within 10 seconds, our daughter is dancing. She loved it. She absolutely was getting down.
She's the target audience, for sure. Yeah.
So a certified bop. Certified number
Dude,
one.
the Wiggles, I could find you a few bops in the Wiggles discography,
Oh, God.
if you will.
Fruit salad.
Oh, yeah.
Doing off on the vocals.
They did a whole special with Steve Irwin, there's a few bops in that one.
Really? I don't remember that one.
My younger brother wore that DVD out.
Okay.
So yeah,
okay.
It's a lot.
It's a little overplayed maybe in your house, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big time. But hey, not complaining. There's worse things to overplay. So.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, Baby Shark. Yeah.
No.
Hello. Welcome to the show. We didn't even, say our name.
I was going to say.
I am your boy Snoof alongside my man in the hat. He's the man in the hat. That's who he is. How are you feeling tonight, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, as we currently record this, the Dolphins are getting whooped on Thursday Night Football in primetime. Who could have guessed? Dolphins getting whooped in primetime? Not me. So I told you whenever we scheduled this, I was like, yeah, I'll have it on my other monitor and I'll watch as we're recording. No, it's off, dude. I'm not watching it. There's no way.
Well, my Panthers don't even have any primetime games this year, so we're just going to settle for getting whooped at 1 p.m. every Sunday. So,
hey, y'all are going to turn it around and you're going to shock the world. It might not happen this week. It might be, in 4 weeks.
yeah,
But
this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do y'all play this week?
The Chargers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe next week.
We'll keep punting that one away.
What I wanted to
Unlike
ask
our
you-
opponents.
Yes. What I wanted to ask you, Treads, was I was going to get an icebreaker out here. We talked about this before, so like I said, you might not be caught off guard entirely by this. What is the biggest animal that you think you could take in a fight?
Oh,
Like,
I remember we did discuss this once.
there's no weapons. It's your bare hands against this
Bare
animal.
hands.
It's only one of this animal. But it's the largest that you think you could more or less, I guess, kill and be successful.
I mean, man, are we going pure weight, I guess, here?
I don't think, you could just say something. If you want to say, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I mean, honestly, it's not very big. I'm not trusting myself to take out anything very big. Oh, man, probably something fairly small. I'm trying to think of, smaller mammals, the size of your average, house pet or something.
Right, right.
Or maybe, I guess it's probably, you get into the birds and they're weird. I wouldn't trust myself against most of the birds, but, a flamingo or something. I feel like I could take one of those out.
Right. If you remember, I originally said, give me a female ostrich.
Mm-mm.
And I did say that a female ostrich would be, the ceiling. And I still don't know, dude. I know that,
Dude, I know.
You know? You ostrich
not
expert
winning.
over here? I'm just
I know enough
You-
to where I know you're not beating an ostrich in a fight.
you talk about the
I think
birds.
they're supposed to be able to, with their, I think one hit of their neck or something that could kill you.
See, you've never heard of that. Like a giraffe, yeah, they use their head and neck for a freaking weapon. I've never
all
heard,
right. You take it on, but I'm not taking on
okay.
an ostrich.
I have
Just-
since, after being told, no bro, no way, I'm like, okay. I think a sloth is almost cheating. I can't imagine a sloth really.
Yeah, I thought about a sloth, yeah.
I don't know. A goose? Probably, right? They're going to honk at
They're
you.
they're going to get a couple hits in.
Yeah.
But I think you could
I'm
probably
with
take
that.
it. Yeah.
I think a decent, when I say decent, I mean I think when some people talk about like the size of dogs, they forget that some dogs can be like well over 100 pounds, 150 pounds. So when I say
Saint Bernard, yeah.
yeah, when I say a decent sized dog, I don't mean anything above like 40 pounds. But I do think like a 40-pound
Right.
dog, yeah, probably. I think so. I don't know.
On a good day, yeah.
Yeah, on a good day, yeah. I think you just grab them by their their hind legs, and you just spin them around. What are they gonna do? Then you're just in that perpetual spin.
Yeah. You're dizzy, it's dizzy, all bets are off.
Yeah. So that might be my like most confident answer would be I would say give me a 40-pound dog. And I think that's probably the biggest I'm willing to go. I'm still gonna get effed up a little bit. But I think I can handle.
Yeah. That's a decent answer. A mammal about that big is as far as I'm pushing it, because, I mean, you get much bigger, and they're just stronger, and, oh. Like, I don't know, like, think about, like, is there any type of, like, monkey you could take out? I don't know, I'm not confident.
Yeah, because they're so like freakishly strong, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not confident in any of those. There might be, like, some random type, I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think. Whenever I originally said ostrich, I was like, yes, some birds have, like, talons, and they got the sharp beaks, and they got this or that or whatever. I was like, an ostrich, as far as I know, their feet aren't like, are they hoofed? I think their feet might literally be hoofed.
An ostrich?
Yeah.
I think it's...
Do they have toes?
You're making fantasy creatures out here.
Do they not have...
You ever heard of a centaur? It's a bird, buddy.
Yeah, but like I meant like they don't have literal talons. Is what I meant. Ostrich.
I'm pretty sure they're closer to that than
It looks like a freaking dinosaur, honestly, dude. They just got two ginormous toes. So honestly,
Yeah, they probably rip out your guts with it too.
it looks disgusting. They need to go to get a pedicure.
Mm-hmm. I'm not taking one on. You go for it.
Yeah, I think I'll back off of that. That's fine. So that being said, I'm gonna say like a 40-pound dog as like my final entry.
It's fair. It's
and
fair.
You say?
Man, I guess I didn't give you a specific something. Like, I'm sure there's other like random mammals that are about that size. Whether it be like a
You keep saying mammal. Why are you hating on mammals, bro? Throw out a reptile.
a dog, same thing. I'm just saying. Like, I was just trying to say there's probably some I'm not thinking of in that same category. Yeah, I don't know, something similar to that. I mean, a sloth I think is a good answer. One of the koala bear or something, but ugh.
Maybe. This is where like
Chip
some
slam one of
like,
those. Yeah.
if we had one of our old roommates on, they'd be like, I could take on a bear.
Oh yeah.
I'd tame it.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be my friend, and then I'd betray it. What? What are we doing?
We're playing the long game. Yeah.
Chess, not checkers.
How much do you want it?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You didn't say time limit. So stupid. With that being said, pal, okay, let us know at TisItIsPod, TisItIs podcast. Let us know what's the largest animal you think you're taking on a fight, and we'll let you know. I think it's established at this point. Treads is kind of not a moral compass. What are you? You're like a level-headed compass. I think if you need
I'll
like
go
a
with that.
level-headed take, go to Treads. It'll probably give you a good level-headed take.
That's right. Pride myself on my levelness.
Yeah. Which is funny because you're taller than everybody else. But
Fair.
that being said, we're gonna move into the meat and potatoes of tonight, pal. And dude, this is a subject that ever since we proposed the idea, I've been so excited for. It's in the title, I'm sure, but tonight we are drafting the best TV theme shows, TV theme songs, not iconic. Anything you say about that?
Yeah, it's a big distinction, and I'm nervous for this, honestly, because you start thinking of, like, your favorite TV themes, like, if you start coming to mind and you jot them down, and, like, I swear, over, like, a couple weeks, I've been like, oh, yeah, that one, too, and that one, too, and that one, too, and I add them to my list, and some things are getting scooted all the way to the bottom, and other things are getting on, and then, literally, as, like, all day, I've been, like, reshuffling things, so I'm not confident at all about what I'm going to do during this, but I'm excited. I think that TV themes are interesting to look at because you have like different eras. You have stuff from your childhood that's very nostalgic and like you still might listen to today, and then you have more mature TV shows of that you watch more recently, and you have things that are instrumental, things with lyrics. Things just work on so many different levels, and it seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV.
You worked into that so
said,
fluently. That was great.
With that being said, got a question for you, Snoof.
Okay.
Whatever happened to predictability? Milkman, the Paperboy,
Evening TV.
Evening TV.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
That was good.
Seriously, though, my question for you is... It's not really a question, actually, maybe. Maybe it's just an opportunity. Because of last week, in the episode, you graciously awarded me a victory in our trivia game in the Pixar draft that I don't feel like I necessarily earned. I feel like we were tied going into there. You kind of awarded me a ghost point, if you will, and allowed me to choose between the first overall pick and the second and third overall picks. So I wanted to extend the opportunity to you today without having to go through any trivia if you want to select either the 1 or the 2 and 3. So it's your call.
Buddy, first off, I think you earned the win last week. Even if it halfway came at the hand of me not seeing as many movies as you, which, first off, everyone knows Treads like to watch 2 full movies before he goes to work. I'm not going to watch as many movies.
Darn straight.
Yeah. So, but that being said, I am tempted to just accept this gift. I mean, I'd be kind of rude not to. That
Right.
said, again, I don't know what to do because...
It's part of why I offered it to you, because I didn't know either.
Like, I don't think... I know my number 1 overall pick, you're not going to take number 1 overall. I'm admitting that I'm higher on it than most. But I know of one in my top 3 that will probably be one of your number 1s. I'm going to yield.
Big decision.
I'm going to yield yet again.
Yielding the floor.
I'm yielding the
Okay.
floor. I'm going to defer. I want that second half ball, baby.
Okay. I'm okay with this. I mean, the Pixar one, the list is so, like, kind of, not necessarily top heavy because it's strong throughout, but I was giving you the 2 and 3. I was like, I knew you were going to get 2, just, they were going to hurt me to lose them. Here, though, I think our lists are going to be so different that, I don't know, I don't know. But I'm happy to have the 1 because this is one that I feel like should be on your 7. It should be on your short list for your 7. I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's not, I don't know if it's necessarily my 1, but just to play it safe, a little bit of strategy, go ahead and take it off the board. So with the first pick, I am taking Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I feel like it's one of, like, the iconic ones. Everyone knows it. Will Smith at his absolute most likable. The whole show is just a great, piece of a kind of 90s sitcom. That era, and the theme song brilliantly kicks everything off. You kind of get right in the mood. Great lyrics, and I don't know, just I think it fits the show really well. And anyone from kind of our generation who grew up watching the reruns, I feel like it's one that everyone knows all the lyrics, and yeah, it's just kind of indisputably great. So
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
That's right.
Yeah. Classic Fresh Prince of Bel-Air lyrics. Not a. I don't mean it as an insult, obviously, but not a surprising first overall pick. I think that's a fine first overall pick.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah. I think that's one of the rare ones that we when we were texting about, are we doing best or most iconic? Spoiler alert: Friends is not going to be on my best list. Would Friends be probably top 2 or 3 and most iconic? Yes. I think Fresh Prince is probably one that hits both. I think it's a lot of people's it's a bop. Like you know it, you like it, but it's also just like universally known, I think. Yeah, I think it's great. All right. Anything else you want to say? Yeah.
No, I think I'm good with that, and so let's see what you have cooking for 2 and 3.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of explaining because I think when I say my number 1, you're gonna be like, really? So I'm gonna explain a little bit first. What I think some crucial pieces that make specifically a theme song, but also just music in general, really good for me. I like layered songs. I like, and Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, how it starts with the with the spoons hitting and the washboard, and the whole song it builds on that. And you can still 3 minutes later in the song hear that, and it's so layered. I like that. I like a good choir. I love a good a cappella or a good choir in the background. Oh, that's half the reason I listen to scores and instrumentals, because they'll have those in the background. Can really set the mood, deliver the tone. And I just like it if it's a bop. If it's something I can bop along with and sing along with, I'm like, okay. So my first overall pick, buddy, has all three of those. And it is... He's a Phantom. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Go back and listen to it. That first off, I said it was layered. The it repeats the whole time in the background. That nice little bass line, it's there. The choir, there's a choir in the background of the whole Danny Phantom song.
Young Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to view a world unseen. He's gonna catch 'em all 'cause he's Danny Phantom. When it didn't quite work, his folks, they just quit.
And it sounds great. It's a bop, dude. Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It's a bop. It is a bop. And I'm admitting that this is so, like, you're like, really? That's your number one overall pick? It is. And I told you I was equally confident and nervous about it. Because your reaction is what I expect to get. But it's number one, buddy.
No, well, I was partly just doing that because I tried to do exactly what you said you were afraid I was going to do. But, no, it wasn't on my short list necessarily, but I listened to it today actually, just in my final prep, trying to make sure I had everything where I wanted it. I think it is a bop, and it's what's funny to me though is that right before recording this, I was talking to my wife about if there's any strategy I need to employ. She's like, "Oh," she's like, "Do you know what Scott's going to do?" And I said, "I guarantee he's going to play something like Danny Phantom really high."
Yep. You know me, Fal. That's a
called it perfectly.
Yep, that's a con. That's a con of doing this with you. You know me well. Clearly.
No, it's a good one though. I honestly, I didn't watch as much Danny Phantom growing up, and I don't really have a reason. I didn't dislike it at all. I liked it fine when I watched it. Just wasn't in my top tier of shows I made sure I caught. So
right.
Maybe I was kind of missing out a little bit. So I'm not super nostalgic for it, but it's good. It's good.
It's a good show. Yeah, if we're gonna talk, we can have a whole episode alone on talking about a much smaller number of these shows, just as we love media like that so much. Yeah, I think it's great. That being said, I'm gonna move on to my now second in a row pick. I am torn here. There's a few that I'm like, I want these, and I could see you taking any of these. I really could. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna snipe it. I'm going to snipe this, buddy, and I do think this is stealing from you, and I apologize, but it is, honest to God, number 2 on my list. I'm going to take what lies upon your chest. Give me Scooby Dooby Doo.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
Where are you? They talk about, again, a bop from freaking... When was that song written? Honestly, do you know off the top of your head?
1969, I think, was when the first season came out.
That's what I thought it was in the 60s, as early as possible. Yeah. A bop,
and that's
dude.
another one, man. Literally, anyone from any generation could sing you that song.
Yep. It should be on the list of your favorites and iconic. I think it should. I don't know what more anyone can say about Scooby-Doo that's not said about Scooby-Doo at this point. Stood the test of time, still very popular today. Fantastic. I just think, and a bopping theme song.
It's a great theme. It is a great theme. It's, like you said, stood the test of time. Everyone still knows the lyrics to it. Good pick.
I just want to go where everybody knows your name. Yeah, sorry. I saw your shirt before we recorded. I saw your shirt. I was like, oh, God, now I got to. It is. I'll send you the screenshot. It's number 2 on my list, but I was like, I gotta take it now. I gotta make sure. I thought maybe you would take it number 1, especially being on your shirt. But
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
fair.
I was nervous, but here we are. So now, right back at you, pal. What you got?
All right, so that does make me reshuffle things a little bit on how I was going to approach this. Oh man, I'm going to take. This is. Man, I don't even know if this is in my top 7 as far as personal, just pure favorites. But it is one of the last ones that I have that I think there's even a remote possibility you have. I don't even know if you definitely do, but just go ahead and take it. Definitely another super nostalgic one. I'm going to go with Drake and Josh.
It's gonna take some time to
I feel like it is just a staple of our childhood growing up. I looked it up earlier. I was kind of surprised. It only ran for 3 years, that show, which feels kind of absurd.
I think it was on for 5 years. Yeah, at least. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2004 to 2007 was the run of that show. But man, that's such a good theme, and like I think it makes it even better that like it is Drake Bell singing it, and
Right.
he's just like, I don't know. I just think it's another one that I feel like anyone at least our generation, like people our parents' age probably don't. They'd be like, what? Like Zach and Cody? Is that the one with those twins?
Yeah.
But it's it's great. Drake and Josh. The show is great. Still nostalgic to kind of revisit scenes and stuff from that, and the theme just it fits so perfectly with it. You just I don't know the guitar in it and stuff, and again Drake Bell. I don't know. I've always liked it. It was kind of on the cusp of making my 7. It's probably down closer to the bottom of my personal 7 or so. But again, I just thought strategically, just in case you had it on your list, I wanted to take it now.
I'll be honest, I did not have that on my list. That is a great pull, though. Like, I'm disappointed it somehow wasn't on my list or my backups. It
I'm disappointed
deserves
in you too.
it deserves to be there. And again,
Happy to have it.
Again, like if we talked about all these shows, we'd be here for 3 hours. But Drake and Josh has to be one of my personal favorite shows of all time. I just think it's a great show, dude.
It's great.
It was like perfect.
It holds
like,
up. It holds up really well.
It does. It does. It's one of the few shows that I can go back now. I've hated on this for years. Shows with laugh tracks are really hard for me to watch anymore as an adult. I don't like
It's
shows
hard.
with laugh tracks.
Once you see shows without it, it's hard to go back. I agree.
Yeah. So, but Drake and Josh is like, fine, give me that. That's fine. I'll take it. What a pull, dude. That's great. I like that. I like that pick a lot. I'm gonna pick another classic, IMO, and this is literally the song that my wife and I walked down the aisle to after we said I do. Give me, thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
I think that maybe, I don't know if that in itself would be that high on my personal list, but Golden Girls was one that I figured maybe was on yours. And I didn't want to risk it going because I feel like, dude, I don't know. I think it's such a good theme song. I think it's a bop. I think it's very, like, timely. Like, like it's with that time, but it's also timeless because it's still good. You know what I mean? Oh, God. And I think that, again, the show itself is great, but mainly the theme song I think is instantly recognizable. I think it's fantastic.
No, absolutely. It wasn't quite on my list. It was one that I had kind of in my... I have a whole second list, basically, of backups in case I, with some reason, get that far, change my mind at the last minute. But it's another one of those... I feel like we're saying this about a few of those, but whether you're talking iconic or best, it kind of could slot into either one. Everyone knows that theme, and yeah, I agree. It sets the tone of the show so well, and it's just, it makes you, I don't know, you try to listen to that and not like have a smile on your face. It's great. So, good pick.
Love it. So now, pal, it is back to you. Your team is now on the clock.
It is back to me, and here is where, admittedly, my list kind of crumbles. If I was going to get any popular vote picks, it's from my first two, because here I'm getting some deeper cuts. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I am right now going to take, it happens to be probably my favorite show of all time, actually. And the theme is great. I'm taking the theme to Psych.
I know, you know that I'm not telling the truth. I know, you know they just don't have any proof.
Ooh.
It is a great theme. If you don't know Psych, you should watch Psych, but at least go listen to the theme. I think it's really cool that the creator of the show, his name is Steve Franks, his like own band, they're called the Friendly Indians, recorded that themselves. So that's them singing that.
That's cool.
And one of my favorite things about the theme to Psych is random points throughout the show, probably not that often, maybe once a season or so, they will change it a little bit to fit like a theme of an episode. So there's one that's my favorite. The episode is deals with this a cappella group. So Boys to Men literally sings the theme for that episode. And it's great. It is great.
Love Boys to
I
Men.
know, you know, it's great. And there's a couple others, one in Spanish for a Spanish, a episode that was a Spanish soap opera or something. And there's a Bollywood version at one point. So there's a few different versions.
That's really cool.
A Christmassy one that has the instruments are a little different.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool how they have fun with it. And again, I just love the show so much that it just it might just be that creeping in a little bit more so than purely just a theme. But because I love the show so much, I love the theme as well. So kind of a niche pick, but I feel like I have to take it here.
I think it's a fine pick. I'm I'm part of the guilty party that I need to watch more. All I've watched has been the maybe 2 episodes that I've watched with you.
Yeah.
But you have had great TV recommendations for over a decade now, so there's no reason to say I wouldn't like it. I did like.
Yeah.
I liked what I watched.
I think you definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think if you remember correctly, you said the main characters and their relationship kind of reminds you of us, so that makes me want to
Big
watch
time.
it. Yeah.
Big time.
Right. Yeah. Because one of them's stupid and one of them's sarcastic.
Right. Exactly.
So yes, I do. I want to watch that. It's on my list. It's like you said sometime on Twitter. That is one pro of watching movies versus TV. If you have to pick one, you watch a movie. Okay, I need to sit down for at most 2.5 hours normally, and here we go.
I'm on team movie, so dude, yeah, I could go on and on and on about this. Like, there's too many shows now too. It's like every single person you meet has some. You gotta watch this. This is the best show on TV. It's on streaming on this, and everyone has a different one.
Right.
Like you literally, I get recommended a new show. I swear once a week. If I wrote them, like my list is 40 TV shows long. I can't watch them all. I can't.
Yeah.
And I won't.
I won't. So
won't do it.
We'll do that sometime. We'll get into like a TV versus movie. We'll really sit down and
I mean, I'm not hating on. Like, I love some TV shows too, and my favorites I will defend always.
Right.
But man, there's a lot of them I'm probably just gonna go to the grave without seeing. And so if one of your favorite shows, if you're waiting to hear its title here today, it's probably because I haven't watched it, or it's because that show sucks. So one or the other.
Friends. Okay. Yeah, Friends doesn't suck. I just definitely think it's perhaps one of the most overrated shows.
I think a lot of those get so, even ones that I am a big fan of, when enough people catch on and then it's just like over-circulated. It's just like, okay, it's not, like, let's not, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. My next pick is my first purely instrumental pick. So, not really going to be able to do it for you here. Maybe I'll throw in a little clip as much as YouTube will allow me without copyrighting. Thank you, YouTube. This is another one that I was worried you were going to take. It might be on your list. Give me the X-Men show from the 90s theme song.
Yes.
I think that is...
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so hype.
It's so good, dude. I remember like being a kid and whenever that would come on at night, it just get you so excited. Like, oh my gosh, it's on. Oh, dude. And now X-Men 97 recently.
Yeah.
I say recently. It might have been like a full 2 years at this point whenever they first came out with that.
Oh no, I think it's been within a year.
Really?
So.
Okay. My sense of time.
Maybe a year at this point. I can't keep track of time either. I don't think it's been 2 years.
But yeah, they revamped it. Oh god, dude. The X-Men theme song, I think is one of the most iconic. I don't know if iconic's the word. One of the most. I just think it's a great. I just think it's one of the best.
It's beautiful.
Instrumental theme songs. I love it.
I hate you landing it because that's one of the big ones today. I remember that theme, and that's one of the big things I was wrestling with is what is this going to boot from the list I had already kind of created. So you made my job a little easier just now, but I also hate seeing you take it. So kind of I didn't know if it'd be. I should have known that would be one that you might have on your list.
That was one I considered putting like really high because I was worried you were going to take it like at some point too.
No, it's great. I thought it might fly under the radar a little bit, but great pick.
So far, no snipes except for Scooby-Doo, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I am next going to take also an instrumental.
Ooh.
And I'm not talking with you, Snoof, about this at all. I'm just going to say my piece and we're moving on.
It's a great theme.
We're not talking about anything related to the show or anything else.
Fantastic
but
theme.
Probably, by my estimation, the just most unskippable theme in television history. Give me Game of Thrones.
Okay, calm down a little bit.
It's as far as, I'm not saying it's the best one, but as far as getting you in the mood for what you're about to watch, that theme is. Phew, man,
A great theme.
You're just like, I'm ready for some political maneuvering and backstabbing and sword action. It's so good, and you have the themes that open and you're moving around the map and you're seeing all the different places in Westeros and stuff. It's awesome. And I wrote his name down, Ramin Djawadi. I probably butchered that just now. he has some outstanding pieces of music throughout the course of the entire show. He's skilled on the piano, and he rarely actually uses that in his music, but when he does, it's just like that much more. There's some absolutely phenomenal piano work throughout the show, but that opening theme, it's weird. I haven't watched House of the Dragon. Apparently the theme is so good, apparently they reuse, that's literally the same theme, which I think is lazy and cheap, but it's that good. I could not drop 7 themes and not take Game of Thrones. As far as what the theme song means to the show, gotta have it. And that's all I'm gonna say, and we're not gonna talk about it any further.
It's a great theme. I told you I sing a variant of that theme literally every day in this house because of the name of one of my.
I honestly wondered. I was like, for a split second, like, he might have this on his list. I was like, nah, he doesn't.
If we were drafting iconic, I would have gone higher, and I would have tried to snipe that because yes, I would have fully expected that to be on yours. It's a great theme.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic theme, especially as far as instrumental themes go. I got nothing bad to say about it. The theme. That said, let me take it back, and we're done. We're done with instrumentals. I think we're done with instrumentals for my whole list, even my backups at this point. No, I do have a couple of my backups, so we'll see if we can get there. But give me one that admittedly is from a show that I didn't watch more than an hour of growing up. That doesn't mean the theme song's not a bop. I'm still taking this theme song. Give me the Heroes in a Half Shell, buddy. I love.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
It's a bop.
Great pick.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Love it. It's great. And I like it.
That's a great one.
I didn't watch the show a whole lot growing up. I've watched more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as an adult than I did as a kid. But it's a bop.
So I grew up. There's been so many iterations of the Turtles throughout the year. So like the classic Turtles cartoon that like introduced and used that theme, I didn't really watch a ton of either, despite being like obsessed with the Turtles for a chunk of years of my childhood. It was like my biggest obsession there for a while. I watched that more like whatever that was on Cartoon Network the same years as like the Teen Titans show, probably 2004-ish range.
Right.
Whatever variation that was, I don't even remember the theme. It wasn't as good, I don't think, as far as what I can remember. But that was a great pick for you just now. I didn't even like, never even crossed my mind honestly for this, but it should have. That's a great one. So that's what's so hard about this. Like there's so many shows and they all, so many of them have a bid for being great.
I never thought of Drake and Josh.
Great pick.
Great like snipe by you for Drake and Josh. Like, I don't know how I didn't. So yeah, that's. And I figured that would happen. I figured, like, there's just so many shows. And there's so many shows that I watched more growing up than you and vice versa. So, like, I didn't even think of that or whatever. So, yeah, this could be a 20-piece long list, probably. And we might not even have that many.
I literally have about almost 20 titles written down that I think are good enough to be mentioned. I do want to mention a couple in honorable mentions at the end.
Right, same.
But, so I'm actually going to take, similar to what you just said, I'm going to take a show. I texted you this earlier. I've never seen 1 second of this show. And better than that, I've never even seen the show on TV. Ever. Never once. And I sincerely, for that reason, doubt you have it on your list. The only reason you might is because you're going to know the song. I feel like most people do. The song, I only know the song because of a 2017 State Farm commercial with Aaron Rodgers. It's the theme from The Greatest American Hero.
Yes.
Called Believe It or Not. And the song is a bop.
I'm walking on air.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
It's so good. So good. I wrote it down earlier. That song, so the show, again, I think it was it ran for 3 seasons from 81 to 83. And the song, though, was definitely more popular than the show. It apparently was on the Billboard Top 40 for 18 straight weeks. Pretty solid for a TV show theme.
Wow.
And the title of the song is literally Theme from the Greatest American Hero, parentheses, Believe It or Not. And it's in my like regular liked songs on Spotify that I listen to regularly. So yeah, I have to take it. Even though it's definitely a deep cut that if someone just looks at the list, they're gonna be like, what the heck is that? But Such a good song. Such a good song. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for introducing me to that.
I don't remember that commercial you're talking about. Because I honestly, I first heard of the theme song from Family Guy. There's that episode where
I've seen that skit as well. Yeah.
And Peter sings it, and I was like, "That's."
You don't remember that? Oh man, the commercial was so overplayed, but I didn't mind because it was so like it's like him and a dog. It's a State Farm commercial, and he's like has a little dog. He's like throwing a football to it and stuff.
It's one of those like I'm sure if I saw it, but I saw that 40 times.
I'm sure you would.
Off the top of my head, for some reason, I'm not remembering it. But yeah, that's another. I think it's a great pull. It is a bop, and it's one that I think is going to fly.
Very random. I told you my list is getting random.
Yeah, I think that flies under a lot of people's radar. But I think if you know it, then you know it's a bop. Mm-hmm. That said, I'm going to take one that I think may tarnish my list a little bit, but it is a personal favorite. If you know it, you love it. Give me them talking fruits and vegetables from VeggieTales.
If you like to talk to tomatoes.
I think the VeggieTales theme song is a bop. I think like me as a child is going to agree with this. Maybe adults won't. But you hear the womp, 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 womp. I know what it is. And I'm singing the full song. If you like to talk to tomatoes, and I'm going. And I as a 27-year-old man, I'm going to sing the full VeggieTales theme song. We're now watching a whole lot of VeggieTales with my daughter. She seems to like it, so I'm rewatching stuff like, oh my gosh, I remember watching that 2 decades ago. And it's crazy to like when you get flashbacks like that. Like, oh my gosh, I remember in children's church I watched that. Like, it's fun to relive. That's awesome. So I don't know. Did you watch VeggieTales growing up a lot or no? I could not remember.
So I was definitely familiar and watched it. So I'm definitely not as to the level that you did. But yeah, I mean, I did watch it. It just wasn't. I don't know if we necessarily like owned any at home or anything. I feel like it was something I would like watch at church here and there. But yeah, no problem with that at all. It is something I honestly haven't thought of that theme in a decade, but good.
Thanks. Take it away, pal. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 6th pick. We're getting down to it.
6th pick. Yeah. Man, I'm getting to the part where I'm splitting hairs between some of these and I don't know what to do. All right, I'm going to do something. Okay. It's going to slightly reduce the impact of your snipe earlier. Because the reason I wore this shirt today, while you think it was for Scooby-Doo theme, it's not quite. The reason I wore this shirt, because the best Scooby-Doo theme is What's New Scooby-Doo. In the early 2000s. The show is not as good. The cartoon is not as good, but that theme. Man, I don't. They're neck and neck. Sorry, my voice. The themes are neck and neck between the 1969 version and the I don't know what year. What's new? Early 2000s at some point it ran. 2002. Okay. So that I remember it being on, and I remember I can remember like what even the characters are wearing because they kind of updated their outfits and everything even for that show. There's been so many versions of Scooby-Doo. I didn't love that show as much, but that theme I think is my favorite one. It's just such a bop. What's new Scooby-Doo coming after you? So good. So I'm kind of happy that I was gonna have to take that early because I didn't know if you'd have it. So when you started saying Scooby-Doo, my heart sank, and I was like, let him have it. Let him have it. We're playing the long game, baby.
A fantastic, yeah. I think I'm curious to see what the masses say, which one they prefer, or which one they think is better. I think both.
I'm not
both
yeah, I mean, it could go either way.
Right.
There's a legitimate argument either way. Your original one is definitely more iconic, but people our age, I feel like they know what's new Scooby-Doo, and you can't not like that song. So
that's very true. That said, pal, we have my last pick here, and I have obviously what's in my last pick. I haven't had to take a backup yet, but my last pick was almost solely like for the memes. I'm not saying it's not a bop. It is a great song, in my opinion. It's from a show that I guarantee you over half the people that would ever listen to this have never heard of or remember. So I'm trying to decide if I want to take one from my backup that is would have any more of a following. I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna take my meme pick, and then I'll give love to my backups as we go. I think everybody knows The Emperor's New Groove decently well. I don't know if anybody really remembers that they had the show based on that. I think the show was actually called Cusco's Academy. I think that's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
The theme song, dude. Kuzco, Cusco, Cusco, go, go. It's a bop.
He's on his way to the throne, he's on his way to success, but he has to go to school, he's got to ace that test.
If you haven't heard it in a while, go and listen to it. It is a bop. Whenever I was like doing some research, like trying to remember some shows, I was like, oh yeah. And it was on my list. And it is half a meme. It's also more than half a bop.
Yeah, more than half a bop. I'll give you that. I don't remember it, honestly. I think it's that weird era where Disney made, like, every movie a little TV show as well. I remember there was, like, Tarzan, Hercules, and Lilo and Stitch obviously had theirs. There are so many that had their own little TV shows. I remember that being a show, but I couldn't have recalled the theme. But I believe you. I'm sure it's great. Yeah,
I have
I'll take your word
one
for it.
adult show on my
I expected nothing less.
I have one, and even then it's Golden Girl.
You went to the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. You have, like, Fresh Prince, great. Drake and Josh, great. Psych, Game of Thrones, Greatest American Hero.
If you can walk, you don't like Scott's List.
Yeah. If you can walk.
Oh, man.
Did nostalgia play a role in
just-
those? Maybe a little bit, but man, I
No,
think
it's,
it's good.
it's great. I didn't even notice that as you were saying that, honestly. Oh, man. I was hoping you would take some of these to make my job a little easier here at the very end. I have so many honorable mentions. My last pick is not sexy at all. I feel like I'm just going to run with this, though, because this is where the iconic piece does enter a little bit in for me. Even though it shouldn't, because we're not doing iconic. But because it's so iconic, this might be my most, like, sung tune of any of these. And I think it's most sung for a lot of people because of how iconic it is. So give me probably hands down the most iconic whistling of all time with the Andy Griffith Show.
Okay.
The whistling is just so, like, I don't know. If you can whistle, you whistle that. I don't know. That's all I have to say about that. So
I can't whistle,
I'm
so I
gonna
don't
take it.
whistle it.
yeah, there you
What
go.
did I say?
You haven't proven me wrong. If you can whistle, you whistle this.
Okay, whoa. A great pick. It did at one point have itself, it found itself on my backup list. And then, almost for the sole reason of I can't whistle, I was like, I can't pick that. I can't enjoy it as much as everybody else can.
So good.
I didn't
It's
hear
so good. It's such a fun tune to whistle.
I didn't hear a note of that because Discord is stupid and it cuts out, but I imagine you whistled it very...
I'm just puckering at you.
Yeah. I'm going to mute you and just add a little bit... Just add the smooch
Oh,
effect. Okay, hey. Wait till after we're live.
Okay.
That means-
Okay.
That being said, what do you want to do? Do you want to run through our list and then we'll talk about some of our honorable mentions?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So what you got? Roll off your 7.
In my very adult-themed show lineup, I have Danny Phantom, Scooby-Doo, Golden Girls, X-Men, TMNT, VeggieTales, and Cusco's Academy.
All right. Not too shabby. My 7, we have got The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Drake and Josh, Psych, Game of Thrones, theme from The Greatest American Hero, believe it or not, What's New Scooby-Doo, and The Andy Griffith Show.
I think, like last week, dude, I think those are both good lists. I think yours are almost solely because of the average age. I think yours is probably better. I think it might be.
I don't know.
I think I'll let nostalgia
I
play
think
too
you
big a role.
underestimate the power of nostalgic picks for people. Like, they will they will go hard for the things that, you know, they grew up with and they connect with. So I don't think targeting the ones that, you know, were from childhood or something is a bad course to take. And I took a few of those similarly. Can't say that word.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think it's a bad list at all, and I think it's a decent matchup, and I'm excited to hopefully hear what people weigh in or let us know what show we've terribly left off. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with that being said, what are some potential discards that you didn't quite get to play?
So it's funny. I do have 3 adult shows on my backup.
Okay.
I've got Three's Company. I loved watching
Okay.
Three's Company with my parents growing up. It would come on and we'd sit there and watch. I thought it was hilarious. Another adult one, I have Knight Rider. I think Knight Rider is one of the most iconic
good.
instrumental themes. The bass in it is fantastic. And I have Law and Order, but specifically Organized Crime, which Organized Crime, if you don't know, is Stabler's show. I think everybody kind of knows Detective Stabler from Law and Order, SVU, I think is where he was. He left, and now he's got his own show. Dude, the theme song, I'm asking you right now, I'm asking anybody who has the time to listen to this, go look up the Organized Crime theme song and tell me you don't want to run through a brick wall. It hypes me up, dude. They cooked.
Okay.
They cooked. So I have those adult shows on my... I do have a couple non-adult, obviously. I have this Spider-Man theme from the 90s.
Okay.
I think that's... I don't know. I just think it's very... Again, like for the times, it's for the character. I think it's great. I have DuckTales as
Absolutely.
well. Do you remember DuckTales?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I thought DuckTales was a bop.
It was good. It was very
Look
good.
at DuckTales if you don't know what I'm talking about. And that rounds off my backups. So what do you have in yours?
Yeah, so interesting that you mentioned DuckTales. I didn't write that one down, but today when I was listening to that, because I was trying to listen to some to trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything out, it sprung something else in my brain
Tailspin?
that I then went to that then wrote down was Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
What a bop that was. I was hoping maybe that could sneak into my or that was probably maybe potentially my next backup if something went haywire here. I really like the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers one. I mean, there's a few of these Cheers, I think, is a good song. I've never even never watched a show. Nothing against the show, but I think it's a good theme song. Full House, I think, is also in that same category of solid theme. Home Improvement, just for the Tim Allen grunt at the end. Dun 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 da da da. So good.
Literally your text tone for years.
For years, yeah, that was great. And then the last one, I mean, just because it's a good piece of instrumental music. It honestly was never a true threat to make my list, but The Simpsons opener is a good piece of music, I think. Danny Elfman, actually. I didn't realize that until he composed that, so it's kind of cool. And it's iconic as well. I think you kind of hear those notes and you immediately know what you're in for.
Right.
Oh, and then the last one I wrote down, Teen Titans, which I mentioned a little bit ago. Big part of my childhood, so that was close. But yeah, so some good discards, but I feel pretty good about what I ended up with. So.
Yeah. I think these are some good lists. Like I said, I will try, especially if there's some of the more instrumental ones. I will try to throw in 3 or 4 seconds of it to kind of jog people's memory as we say them. Like, oh yeah, that. Because I don't think a lot of people, maybe some people off the top of their head don't remember the X-Men theme or. If you don't know the Game of Thrones theme, I know the Game of Thrones theme, and I've never seen more than 30 seconds of the show. So I'll throw it in there. Maybe jog some people's memory. So yeah, I think these are some fine lists, pal. I think this is a tight race.
Agreed. It went about what I expected. Honestly, we didn't have too much pure crossover, but enough similarities here and there to make things interesting. We had to be a little strategic about how we played things. So, yeah, good deal.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Went well. Good idea. Kudos to you for coming up with this one.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what I was doing to randomly that'd be good. But also, I got to shout out my boy Courage. I was wondering if I wore the Courage shirt and I had it on the background, I was like, maybe I'll throw him off and make him think I'm going to take Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I don't even remember what the theme is.
We
I
interrupt this
watched
program
so
to bring
little
you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show. It was like all exposition.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Abandoned as a
Gotcha.
pup.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of those kid shows that, man, they're just so good. The themes are just iconic.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
there you have it.
I think that's a good list. I am going to go, unfortunately, I'm going to go at some point here soon and see what happened to my starting quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa out with a concussion, so I'm going to go check up on my boy. Yeah, not a fun night.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
Yes,
you should
my
vote for me in
thoughts
the
are with
polls
the
because
Miami
I'm having a bad night, but if you want to.
Yeah, boo. We have Bryce Young.
Yeah, so you start like bringing up like sad stories too.
It's like my quarterback is on his deathbed. He has a concussion, and I'm like, we have Bryce Young.
People are like, oh god, he's worse. That being said,
Oh,
pal,
man.
I think this is a fine episode. You got anything else to say? You got anything else you want to do?
Huh? I think we're good. I'm looking forward to the next one already. See what we cook up next.
Yeah, I'm excited. We got a whole list back, people. We got a backlog. So, write us at TisItIsPod, or you can have either one of our Twitter handles here. We'll have them pop in right there. It's gonna be so cool. Let us know. Let us know what your thoughts on this was, where you stand, and let us know if you got any subjects you'd like to see us talk about. Maybe argue a little bit. I think that'd be fun. Let's get debatey. I think that'd be fun. So I'm sure we'll do it before long. But
Oh, I'm sure.
that's all from me. I will say peace, people.
Well, see you later.